Look for about 70 tomorrow morning, south winds at 10 to 15. And then tomorrow afternoon, still another hot day. Temperature near 97. A few 100s out to the west before the cold front arrives. A fire weather watch is in effect tomorrow because of low humidity, strong winds, and warm temperatures. But again, some relief is in store. More coming up later.
Calling 911 for help, no problem, but can it get you arrested? A well-known Sherman attorney found out this weekend. Aaron McLemore joins us in the studio with more. Aaron?
Matt, police officers say attorney Lester Vance made 5 separate phone calls to 911 Saturday night over the course of an hour, but police say Vance wasn't calling for an emergency. He's a familiar face in Grayson. The county to go on the record about what happened Saturday night. Police say all it takes is one non-emergency phone call to qualify for this charge. The public information officer did not know if they've had problems with other callers. Back to you.
911 calls are recorded. We tried to obtain those recorded calls today, but Sherman police say due to a malfunction of their recording equipment, those calls are not available.
A black cloud hovered over Sherman today after an industrial tanker explosion. This tanker that warms oil and asphalt byproducts caught fire shortly after 5 o'clock today at the Rushing Pavement Asphalt plant. The Sherman Fire Department isn't sure what caused that tanker to catch fire, but they cut off the propane gas supply that heats it, then doused the flames with water. Some of the tank's material did leak out, but that material is not hazardous. Several employees were on site, but none suffered injuries.
Oklahomans are one step closer to being able to get a tattoo inside the Sooner State. Legislation passed the State House today. Now all that's left is for the Senate to approve some amendments in the bill and then the governor's signature. Oklahoma banned tattooing back in 1963, but it's the only state left where it's still illegal. And cracking down on people who sell beer to minors. In Oklahoma, the stakes just got higher. Governor Brad Henry signed a bill today that toughens the penalties for those who make the sale, up to $5,000 in fines and 5 years in prison for repeat offenders. It would also suspend a business's permit to sell beer if the company repeatedly sells beer to minors. And underage buyers won't get off the hook as easily either. They could face a $900 fine and the loss of their driver's license for up to 2 years.
Emotions are running high in Purcell, Oklahoma after the murder of a 10-year-old girl.
Let's string him up! Let's string him up! Baby killer!
That man was removed from the courthouse after causing this commotion outside the arraignment for 26-year-old Kevin Underwood. The man even brought his own rope. Underwood was charged with first-degree murder today in the death of Jamie Bolin, whose body was found in Underwood's apartment Friday night. The DA says he will seek the death penalty. Today, the Bolin family spoke about their loss.
You know, he didn't just break a glass, he broke a baby, you know, and there's no way to fix that. And I just...
Jamie, prosecutors do plan to seek the death penalty.
An Ardmore teenager fell victim to a con man who almost got her to buy him a house. 25-year-old Bristol Lee Kane, also known as Azriel Kane, convinced the 19-year-old girl that he was the beneficiary of a large inheritance and also in a rock band. In just one day, he tried to purchase 2 Cadillac Escalades in her name, as well as a $640,000 home in Ardmore. He used the victim to write checks to help pay for them, or at least to try. In the end, she was out about $2,700.
If you think that someone's trying to take advantage of you in that way, then you should contact your local authorities and let them know that's what's going on.
Kane was arrested on Saturday. He'll be charged with attempting to obtain merchandise by fraud.
A Durant man watched as intruders burglarized his home this morning, but police say the man made the right decision by pretending to be asleep. Chris Sadeghi has more.
I just watched them, so to speak, with one eye shut and one eye open.
You're lying in bed when suddenly a total stranger appears in your bed.
Been indicted.
If you have any information, call that number there on your screen.
2 Duke lacrosse players have been indicted 1 month after an exotic dancer claims they raped her at an off-campus party. Defense attorneys had urged the prosecutor to drop the case after DNA results failed to link the players. The case centers on the woman's claims that she was raped, strangled, and choked and beaten by 3 lacrosse team members at a home off campus. Defense attorneys say they expected charges against 2 of the players, but they also say time-dated photographs will prove the woman was already bruised when she arrived at the party. The prosecutor says that a medical exam showed the woman's injuries were consistent with rape.
For the 5th time in 2 years, Texas lawmakers are trying to revamp the state's public school funding plan. The 30-day special legislative session began today. They have 6 weeks to decide how to finance schools without relying on property taxes. Last year, the Supreme Court ordered a freeze on school funds if the system isn't fixed by June 1st of this year. Lawmakers